You're listening to the Love Unplugged podcast, episode 127. What makes a successful CEO? How do you develop the right mindset to step into the CEO shoes confidently? What does it take to scale your business to 6, 7, and 8 figures? Today, we're taking a deep dive into what it takes to become the CEO of your dream business, and our expert guest is sharing her best tips and advice. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Hey there, I'm your host, Jessica Fergon, and I am passionate about doing the inner work needed to reach your goals. Let me be your guide as we navigate all the fears and insecurities that surface when it's time to step outside of your comfort zone. Along with my knowledgeable guests and industry experts, I'm here to teach you how to reawaken your life purpose and passion and create the steps to turn your intentions into action. Ultimately, my goal is to empower you to rise above those blocks holding you back and start living a life that you are worthy and deserving of. So come on, it's time to slow down, find a comfy spot with your favorite organic tea, and get inspired. Thank you for tuning in to the Love Unplugged podcast. Hello, loves. Today I am joined by the beautiful Sunira Madani, co-founder of the CEO School. Did you know that less than 2% of female founders hit 1 million in revenue and less than 18% ever hit 6 figures? That is insane, and CEO School is on a mission to change these statistics and are committed to closing the gap and helping more women level up in leadership and in life. Now, when I read that, I was absolutely blown away. That is just unbelievable, and I'm so thankful that you have created a business that helps women create something that they've dreamed of and help them achieve those goals of hitting those milestones in their income and help them, see the results that they work so hard to achieve. So I am just so honored to chat with you, Sunira. Thank you so much for being a guest. I'm so excited to learn all about your story and advice. But before we start, for those that don't know you yet, I would love for you to share a little bit more about you personally.
Thank you, Jessica, for having me. And hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today on the show. I was just telling Jessica, I have all the energy in the world for you guys today. This is one of my favorite topics, is empowering women-owned businesses and hopefully getting to share some of my learnings and mistakes so that you can learn and not make those same mistakes. So by way of introduction, my name is Sunira Madani, and I'm CEO and founder of a technology company called Stax. And my impact project and my mission is CEO School, which is a personal project that I had an opportunity to start, to help empower more women to start and scale their businesses. And so that is a little bit about my work. I am a mom of 2, so that is also something that I am. I have a 5-year-old, almost 5-year-old, and a 2.5-year-old. So I have 2 daughters. I'm a girl mom. I'm a huge feminist, a wine lover, and a big journaler. I don't know what's the word. Journaler. I like to journal. So that's me.
Okay, well, first of all, your other business is highly successful. And then you have this business as well that is just thriving, and you're a mom of 2. Your life must be so busy.
It is so busy. It's a little too busy. I'm trying to figure out. I have lots of great learnings. I've told you, I have lots of great learnings and mistakes that I've made, ladies. Yes, my business, Stax, is extremely successful. I'm still on my journey there as well. So I started a payment technology company, which sounds super nerdy and boring. Don't worry, it is super nerdy and boring. Because I have a tech company that is over 200 employees. We're doing 10 billion in payments. It's a really big job, and I run it every single day. So I'm still actively daily involved in Stax. That is my everything, my first baby. And it's where I've gotten all my learnings. And something that I learned is that I didn't go to CEO school. So building not only a 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, multi 8-figure business, I had to learn by the mistakes of myself. And I always say I didn't go to CEO school, and I never thought I would ever have a business this big. And something that I felt that was missing was women sharing their successes at this level to help inspire more women to think bigger. So my goal was to build $1 million business. I didn't even know it was possible to build a $1 billion business. And so a lot of that is one of the reasons why I have shown up for the last 5 years online sharing my journey, was because I never had people that look like me. I'm a Pakistani minority 5 foot brown woman that is loud and obnoxious, that is running one of the top 10 fastest growing fintechs in America right now. And so it's really cool, it's amazing, it's challenging, it's hard, but I feel like I have a life obligation to the girl who was told no. I was told no more times than I can count, and I never had somebody in front of me that said, hey, you can do it. And so this is my way, CEO School, is to tell every woman, yes, you can. And trust me when I say, if I can, you can. Absolutely, yes, you can.
So at what point did you decide you're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to create another business that focuses on something that I wish I had when I started my business?
Yeah, I don't think I ever viewed it as a business, and I think this is where I'm now realizing, oh, it's a real business. It was an impact project. I actually was already showing up digitally online on Instagram, is where you can primarily find me. You can find me at Suneera Madani, and I was just sharing my story, my life, my day to day, my principles, and I speak a lot at different conferences, and so I had an opportunity. And I met so many great women online. So Shannon Monson is a woman that I met online who is my business partner at CEO School. I went to go speak at Shannon's conference at the Icon Method. She is an incredible business coach, and she was coaching particularly in the digital space for digital entrepreneurs. And I went to go speak at her conference, and I was just fell in love with the women in the room. And the question that I asked the audience was, and this is where the 2% statistic was, like, it was part of my keynote presentation, that I went and I was like, how many of you guys in the room want to have a 6-figure business? And every single woman raised their hand. And then I said, put your hands down. I said, how many of you guys want to have a 7-figure business? And then they all raised their hand again. And I'm like, this is exactly what's wrong. We're not even thinking big enough, because we've not been shown what is big enough. We don't even have the opportunity to dream bigger. And that less than 2% of female founders ever hit $1 million in revenue. And that statistic, you're right, Jessica, is absolutely mind-boggling. And that statistic needs to change. And on that stage, on that day, I made a promise to help bring 100 women that were there into the 2% club. And that is where that formed. And the rest is history.
That's insane. I love that. Oh, that's such an inspiring story. And that must have been such a pivotal moment for you, standing on that stage and seeing their reaction to your questions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that there's been so much. I mean, it's really been a revolution, I think. Like, I see this 2%, and it's not this statistic was actually from a Forbes article. And now I see it. I love it being shared. And now we've created this like fictitious 2% club, which is so cool. Because the boys have their club, right, Jessica?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the
Oh,
boys have
God, yeah.
all the good old boys club. They have all the clubs in the world that just helps them get better. And I wanted to create a space that I was never welcome to the table. So I wanted to make my own table. And this is my own table. And all of you are welcome.
That's amazing. I love that. Now, creating a very successful business and a second one, I would love to learn your biggest learnings, your biggest lessons that you've had, and then your biggest wins, moments where you were like, holy crap, I just did that. That's incredible. I can't believe I accomplished this.
Wow, so many. Oh my God, I'm still learning every single day, and I share all of these with you every single day. My biggest learning is that, so first and foremost, I always say there is no such thing as a $1 billion idea, only a $1 billion execution. And I don't care how great your idea is. I don't care how many people have done this before, or that you have a lot of competition. Execution is what's going to get you there. It's 100% fact. And hard work is the shortcut. So that is a theme that you will see in anything that I post. It does not happen overnight. It takes hard work. And what I really despised in this online scene, and why I was showing up digitally was because all of the entrepreneurs that I saw online were just showing how much money they made and how they're living this really amazing life and how it happens so quickly and how everyone else can do it too. That's not entrepreneurship. Like, entrepreneurship is hard. That was in my version of entrepreneurship, at least. And it's not easy. And it's not sitting on the beach and looking at your phone and seeing sales come in. Yeah, does that happen from time to time? Absolutely. But that's the 2% of it. That's not the 98% of it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the 98% of the time, like what it takes to actually get there. And so that was what I wanted to share, is that hard work is the shortcut. And that's what you'll see on my page. And that's what you'll see in what I teach, is that you have to be willing to put in the work. And I really want to ask yourself that. I mean, I know there's entrepreneurs here listening today. Do you really want it? And when I ask that question, do you really want it? And if you really want it, it's going to come with a sacrifice, and it's going to come with work. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it if you really want it. And it just takes hard work. So that's definitely biggest lesson. Lesson number 1 is it's execution. Lesson number 2, it's hard work is the shortcut. And then the third lesson that I will say is that it's important to have the right people around you, like your team, your community, your support system. People, I haven't seen it. I mean, I think you can't do it alone. I haven't seen that happen. I'm sure that there's many amazing solopreneurs out there that have done it alone, but I don't think anyone truly has ever done it alone. It takes a village, it takes a team, it takes the right support system. And so whatever that is for you, look around at the people at your table and make sure that you have the right people around you at the table, whether that be in your work and in your day-to-day as the people that you work with. Make sure you have the right customers around you that you want to serve. Make sure that it's the right mentors around you that are going to help you get there, and the right community that's going to be there to cheer you on every step of the way.
I love that. And I love that you talked about it takes hard work. It's not all just, sitting on a beach and checking your phone and you've got all these like money payments and all that stuff. It's not all glamorized. And I think we need to start putting that back in the forefront and be like, yes, those are aspects that you will enjoy, but there's so much more going on behind the scenes. And, that is blood, sweat, and tears at times.
100%.
All right. So let's talk about your wins. What is something that you are just super proud of accomplishing?
Oh my God. So many things. So many things. I would say, 1, I'm super proud of just getting this company to where it is today. I mean, and both my companies, launching a second company, like turning this and making the impact that we're making is amazing. Having a top 100 podcast is pretty cool too. So you can listen to CEO School, and I get to interview just amazing women who have made it to the 2% Club, women that are well on their way, that are doing incredible things. So I love that. Some accolades that I'm really proud of. I did get Fortune's 40 under 40 last year during the pandemic, and it was probably the highlight of my career. And that was incredible. We've received just so many amazing awards from Inc. and Forbes, and some of my favorites are the ones that are actually not about me. Like Best Places to Work by Inc. is like one of my favorite awards that we have in the office. I'm proud of a lot of things. So it's the awards and stuff are cool, but what I think I'm most proud about is the people that I get to impact every day, and whether that's in my office and the people that we support. I've, over 200 employees, like they're my team, they're my family, and I take that really seriously. And whether it's my community on Instagram, it's inside of the club, it's the women in CEO School in our programs, like just seeing other people's successes is like my biggest win. And I can't believe that it's come from me. Like that's like, I'm always in shock, like all the time. Like I always have to like pinch myself. Like I can't believe like this is my job, this is what I get to do. And I'm really lucky and feel a big responsibility to do it right and to ensure that all of my learnings and all of my knowledge and everything that's gotten me here, that I get to share it with the world, and I get to share it with all the women to hopefully inspire that next woman to go start her business, and to the next woman who got that no to say, forget it, I'm going to go do it on my own. And that next woman to go scale from thinking about a 6-figure business, thinking about a 7-figure business or a $1 billion business. And so I feel pretty lucky.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations with that. I would love to pick your brain on mindset when it comes to stepping into CEO shoes from being like a corporate employee. It's quite a different mindset that you need to have because now you're in charge of your own day, your own success, whether you're going to make it or not, it's all on you. So what would be your suggestion or your tips on how we can, change that mindset to be able to become the CEO that we need to be in order to be successful?
Yes, this is like my life mantra over here. I believe that we should all run our lives like a CEO. And that is what this is exactly what I preach. And mindset is everything. And getting into into your mindset, it starts with you and it starts with your practices for that. And for me, I can share with you what works for me. It's not going to be the same as what works for everyone, but for me, it's really about just telling myself every day that I am worthy of having this job. Like even just getting to that level of writing down my 3 affirmations. I use my journal, spent about a year creating it. And it literally has your 3 gratitudes, your 3 affirmations, and a space to journal. And for me, just free form writing and just writing my thoughts down I like to do forward tense. I'm like, this is how today went. This is what I got done, or this is what I'm dreaming about. And this is how it feels, or this is what took place. And just getting my thoughts on paper every day helps me really get into that right mindset. It helps me get rid of the things that are blocking that mindset too. So it's not just about the positivity and the manifesting and the affirmations. It's also about getting rid of or having a space to get it out of your brain, so that it doesn't come up in your day as a blocker. And so just a 5-minute journal exercise is something that I practice every day, and you can incorporate. You don't need to have any fancy planner. You don't need the CEO school planner. You just need a pen and a paper to get started. But I do have a pretty easy bulletproof way to get through a quick journal exercise, but it does help me. And it doesn't have to be first thing in the morning either. So I have 2 kids. I have to get them to school. I got to get to work. We've got a lot of stuff going on. And so for me, and everything went out the door during the pandemic. I had the best morning routine. I was up, working out, getting my cup of coffee before everyone woke up, before the sun was out. I can't do that right now. I love sleeping in till 7 now with the pandemic. It has been, I don't have to commute to work. Things have been different. And you know what? I have my journal sitting at my desk. And so when I get to my desk, I just take 5 minutes to do it. And that is definitely what gets me into the right mindset.
Yeah, I love that. And there's so many benefits to journaling. I highly recommend it. I was totally abstinent, or not abstinent about it, but I hated it. And I tried to procrastinate so much when it came to it. But as you do it more and more and more, it becomes more natural. And you actually, I look forward to writing it down now. I look forward to kind of getting all of my thoughts out. And it kind of frees up my brain to be able to focus on other things.
Oh, 100%. And I was with you on that. I don't like things that are really lengthy. So I'm really quick and I'm like, oh, I want things fast. And for me, the journaling wasn't working into my routine for a couple of reasons. And maybe others can relate to that. Maybe you can relate to that. Was one, I didn't know what to write about. So I don't like it when I don't have any prompts or I didn't know what to write. And so having a set system that just takes 2 minutes, it's 3 things I'm grateful for, and just filling in the box is so easy than me having to think. It just does the thinking for me. And so that was something that's really important for me, is to have some structure. And something that I absolutely love is I am statements. So on my affirmations, I always write 3 things I am, and it's really what I need to be that day. So I am a great speaker is something I wrote this morning. I had 3 podcasts today. I have 3 shows today. And so I wrote, I am a great speaker. I am a great leader. I am competent. I am confident. Whatever you need for that day, or whatever I need for that day, I write it in my little affirmation section. And so that really helps me in getting into that right mindset, but also not having to think too hard into what I need to be writing down.
That's great advice. I love that. Now, with creating a business that is either 5, 6, 7, or even higher than that figures, I would love to know from you, what are the different levels to achieving an income like that? do you kind of work towards certain increments at a time? Like, what should we be focusing on in our business that actually moves that needle forward towards those income goals that we want?
That's a great question. So, a couple things. What gets you from 0 to 6 figures is not what gets you from 6 to 7, and it's not what's going to get you from 7 to 8 and beyond. And so, really thinking through your goals, but also your systems, your tools, your processes are really important, and ensuring that you scale your business for what your goals are. And then adjusting and pivoting when you hit those milestones, because you're going to outgrow tools, you're going to outgrow things, you're going to outgrow systems. But you have to make sure that your systems are set up for scale and for success. And
Mm-hmm.
so that is something that I really love to preach. And then also your income level. I don't want you to be fooled on your income level to your revenue number. And I see a lot of online influencers talk about, money and how much money your business is making. That's not what you're taking home, right? You have a team, you have staff, you have contractors, you have taxes, you have a lot of things in a biz as a business owner that you also have to worry about. And so really thinking about where you are in your business, and something that I wish I had done, because Stacks grew just so fast and a lot faster. Like I had never wanted, like I didn't know it was going to be this big, and it comes with a lot of responsibility, a lot of stress. It's a really big job. And so with CEO school this time around, I wrote down what kind of business I want. And it's a small business. Like I don't care to be the next. I already have that. Like I don't want to be the biggest in the space, or I just want to serve. I want to make an impact, and I want to do it lean. I want to have a small team. I want to do it on my terms. I'm not looking for, I say this now, but I'm not looking for investors like I did with Stacks. Like I raised 150 million for Stacks. Like I'm not doing that for school. Um, and I think like for you, if you're in whatever point in business you are, really write down what is the business of your dreams, and ask yourself, like, am I sure? Like, is this what I want? And write down a day. Like I would do a forward journal and say, like, this is what my day looks like, and not fill it with just, it's nice to have visualizations. It's, don't worry about the superfluous stuff. Get into the details. Like, how big is your team? Like, what kind of impact are you making? What type of customer did you just speak to? How many customers are you serving? Because with scale, also comes that responsibility. And so it's not all cupcakes and unicorns and roses. Like it's hard work. It's really hard work. And so if you really
Mhm.
want it, like know that you're going to sacrifice to get there. If you're willing to do that, which I was, and I am, then you do it. And so that's how I would be thinking about your 6-figure business, your 7-figure business, or your 8-figure business. Know that it's unlimited, right? So know that like there is no reason why you can't. You 100% can. You can build whatever size business you want to build. But with that, it's going to take time to get there. It's not going to be overnight. And so you have to be willing to put in that time to get there, and make sure that that business serves you into your actual goal. Because I've seen many entrepreneurs that they make really big businesses, and it actually doesn't end up serving what they originally set out to go serve.
Mhm. Yeah, 100%. Now, when it comes to receiving no's and rejections, obviously this happens to everybody in business. You're always going to come across a no or a not now or anything like that in business. How do you not let that take you off course?
I'm not going to say that it's definitely not easy or it doesn't derail you, right? Because we're all humans and we're emotional, and it hurts. It sucks to get a no. So like acknowledge to yourself, like, man, that sucks. You got to know. But I love what you said. It's a no, not now. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's 100% no. It just means it's not right now. And it's also a good time to reflect, to say, okay, it's a no right now. What will it take to make it a yes? And so it's so important to ask for that feedback. And it doesn't have to be right now, right? So it can be, to your customer or to your partner or to a vendor or to an investor, whoever you're getting this no from, is, I appreciate that no. I understand it's not a good time. What would have made it a yes? Or what do I need to do to ensure for the next customer or that next conversation would it have taken? And so to understand that feedback is so great, because you can take that no, and no is just an opportunity, right? So you take that opportunity, you learn from it, and then I'm going to tell you that there is a dozen others standing right behind that no. And so you don't need a yes from everyone. You just need a yes from the right people. And so whether it's the right customers, whether it's the right partners, the right investors, there are yeses out there. You just have to get through the no's to go find that yes. And there is 100% fact to that. Um, this is not just an opinion. Like you will have to get through the no's. I've not met one successful entrepreneur that had a yes handed to them for every single thing. Like, and you just have to continue to learn from those no's so that you can go get the right yes.
I love that. That's great advice. Now, for someone who has a lot on their plate with two successful businesses, I'd love to learn from you how you organize your time so that you're able to manage working in your business, but also on your business. So, like the vision, the goal setting, figuring out what your next plans are and whatnot.
Yeah, this is something that is probably my number one most asked question is like, how do you do it all? How do you balance? Well, I like giving advice that people don't like hearing. And so I'm not going to say if there's no such thing as work-life balance. Like if you really want it, it's work-life integration. So again, remember I asked you guys to decide like, okay, this is the business that I want, right? Or this is the life goals that I want. You make your time work for that. And when I talked about what kind of business you want, it is also important to assess what kind of life you want to have, right? And so for me, I have this principle, it's a 3-bucket principle. If you've heard me on other podcasts, you've heard me say this. My 3-bucket principle is that you can only focus on 3 major things at a time. And in my life and our plates, the number one commodity that we have is time. Like we've a limited amount of it. And no matter if you're Oprah or you're Jessica or you're Suneera or whoever you are, like we all have the same amount of time in a day. So how we choose to spend our time is what's important to us. And what I've found is that people actually just say yes to a lot of things and they don't have a clear structure around how they say yes or how they say no. So if you are one of those people, I think you'll like my 3-bucket principle, which just means you pick the 3 things that you are focused on this season. And that is all you say yes to. And everything else that is not one of those 3 big buckets, you say no. And so for me, my bucket has always been my family. Like number one, I have, and like this is my family and my friends are super important. It's my number one bucket. And I am also part of my family. So myself, I have to spend time for myself too. So that goes in bucket number 1. Bucket number 2 is Stax, Fat Merchant. This is my company. This is something that I've started from the ground up. I hope to be in the next 2 years, a unicorn, $1 billion business valued at $1 billion. And that is bucket number 2. It takes a lot of work. It is really hard, but it's really important to me. And then bucket number 3 is my community. It's giving back. It's the impact. It's CEO School. It's the podcast. And that bucket is so important. And these 3 buckets are what make up Suneera. This is what I live for every day. And this is all I have time for. And so I'm not going to have a perfect day. And this is where when I talk about work-life balance doesn't exist. I'm not going to have a perfect day every day where I like check off the mom bucket, check off the self bucket, check off Fat Merchant. By the way, we went through a huge rebrand. It used to be Fat Merchant. Now it's Stax. I'm still getting used to it. So it's Fat Merchant, Stax. And like, or in a perfect day where I like then end up doing everything for CEO School too. I can't have those perfect days. But what I can have is a really great week where I balance it all, where I know, okay, I'm feeling this bucket while the other one is kind of empty, but I got to make sure the other bucket gets filled by the end of the week. And that's how I strike air quotes balance. And I just call that work-life integration.
That's such a great way of looking at it. And I love that you have the 3 buckets. I'm definitely going to try that approach. All right. My next question is about intuition and trusting yourself and building confidence to be able to step into those CEO shoes and be the leader that you want to be in your business. What would be your advice on how we can do that?
So intuition, and what was the other thing you said?
Confidence.
Oh my God. So I will say that a lot of people may think that I'm super confident and I have it all together. I speak at many different stages. I've all the things, but confidence is actually learned, right? Like some people, like, yeah, naturally you're confident, but it's a learned habit. And what it takes to be confident and what it takes, it's just to feel good. And whatever that looks like for you, make sure that you're feeling that because if you're not going to fulfill that and you're not going to feel good, you're never going to feel confident. And having that support system around you, that when you don't feel confident, that they're there to like hold you up and tell you that you're amazing, because you are amazing. And as women, we're our hardest critics. Like, we are the worst. Like, we should never be our friends. Like, I should never
So
be my
true.
friend, right? Like, I don't know. Am I allowed to swear here?
Go ahead.
Like, we're such fucking assholes to ourselves, right? Like, we're such assholes to ourselves. Why? You know, and it's because naturally we're just overachievers. We're perfectionists. I fall into the same tendencies, right? I'm an asshole to myself all the time. And so you're going to have those days. I never have a day that I'm like super confident every day, but showing up and getting into those shoes, maybe visualize it. Like, for me, I'm like literally stepping into like what I wear. I dress differently when I come to the, like, I work in, we have a really beautiful office. You follow me on social media, you'll see my office all the time in my feed, in my stories. And I love dressing up for work. I do this thing where I like do outfit of the day, and it's not my outfit of what I'm wearing. It's how I feel inside. So I'll put on outfit of the day as leadership. I'll put on outfit of the day as confident, outfit of the day as a speaker, like whatever it is that I want to feel, just like I was talking about with those affirmations, I do it with my outfit of the day. And so me just showing up, dressing up, getting to work, that's what makes me feel confident to do the job. And it's something as simple as just like being put together, but it does make a difference for me. And so finding what that level, what are those things that work for you? Just doing those and making sure that you have a setup of success around you, because we can't feel confident if we're flustered, if we're like all over the place, if they're not in order, right? But when I have things in order and things are scheduled properly, and I don't have a chaotic morning, and I'm not like a hot mess, I can show up for 3 podcasts straight in a row feeling like this, because the rest of my world is calm and put together in the way that I need it to be put together. That's what makes me confident. And then I can be my best self, and I can show up amazing for things like this and feeling super powerful and feeling super confident. And so for those of you that struggle with this, you need to get yourself that routine. You need to get yourself what around you makes you feel good, whether it's that, whether it's something as simple as like getting your nails done, and like that reminds you, like, hey, like I feel polished, or whether it's something on your desk that's like, you like to have candles on your desk, you like to do your journal, tell yourself you're confident every day. DM me, I'll tell you that I believe in you every single day. We'll find a way, but find a way to to tap into those little tricks to make you feel like the boss that you are, because you are one.
That was fire. That's so good. Oh, I love that advice. I think that's going to hit home with a lot of people. All right, so I want to learn more about the CEO School and what you have available to serve your community.
Yes. Okay. I love this. Okay. My favorite thing about CEO School is all of it. Okay. So you can consume all the content you want. So we've got a podcast, and, Shannon's amazing. She's my co-founder at CEO School. She has a completely different story. She's amazing and been a business coach for so long. She makes such an impact. But you've got 2 powerhouse women to learn from. And we have a podcast, so you can consume the podcast. We've got a journal. So I was talking about our journal earlier. You can, utilize a journal. My favorite, I love all of them. I hate to say this out loud, because if there's any students, I love the club. So join the club. So the club is a membership area that it is a live community. So it's not like a Facebook group or something that you have. We are in Slack, and we talk all day long, and we have really great speaker sessions. So you'll get to learn from me, you'll get to learn from Shan, you'll get to learn, like this month I have Jasmine Star inside of the club, and you'll get to learn like inside of the room. So we have private Zoom rooms, and you get to like be in with us learning about all kinds of things. And you don't have to be an entrepreneur. It is definitely mixed between working professionals and entrepreneurs, but it will help you level up in life. Like, that is what the club is. It's amazing women supporting each other, doing really cool shit. It's all based on the planner. So you get a quarterly box every single quarter with your new planner in place, really fun swag, and amazing products that we've sourced from women founders. And it just makes you feel good, and you're part of like an amazing tribe. And we all share each other's wins and help each other for whatever gaps or challenges you're facing. So that's the club. And then we have our 2.0, which is a mastermind that we run. It's only once a year. So it's closed, but it is for multi-six-figure women. And it's just hands-on coaching. And it's a very specific program based on people, processes, and profit. So it's a 3-part system for multi-six-figure women to help them scale to 7 figures. And so those are our 2 main programs. We do have Starter, which is for early stage entrepreneurs, but that is also closed. We don't open up a lot of like classes right now, just from a scalability standpoint. So the next Starter class will be at the end of the year. So look out for that. But that's it. So that's it. Just consume all the free content you want, learn from us. And we open up programs, the Starter and 2.0 only a few times. And the club is year round. And so definitely join the club and come join us in amazing conversations.
All right. That sounds like incredible offerings available. Where do you hang out the most? Where can people connect with you? What is your website URL?
Yeah. So you can go to theceoschool.co is our website URL. You can go to stackspayments as well.com, and you can find me every single day on the gram at Suneera Madani. You can DM me if you listen to the show and you loved it. Let me know. If you want to join any of the programs, let me know. If you want to say hi and you just want me to tell you that you're amazing and you're beautiful and you're strong and you're successful and you're going to crush it, I will tell you that every day too.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Suneera, for joining me today and for sharing your story and your incredibly valuable advice on how we can step into those CEO shoes and scale our businesses to 6 or 7 or even more figures and then make an impact. I know so many are going to love hearing from you today.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to be here. And thanks for what you do.
I'm Jessica, and thanks for tuning in today to Love Unplugged, the podcast. If there are any questions or topics you'd love answered on the show, head on over to www.projectloveco.com and share your request with me. If you haven't yet, go to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review this podcast and share it with a loved one. Your feedback means the world to me, and the community we've created is what fuels our discussions here. After all, this is all for you. Join me next time for another unplugged conversation.